Like I'm so
All right, what's good, Lorcana fans, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Ohanacast. And you haven't seen us in a little bit, but it was time to talk to y'all again. Once again, I am with the people that I am always with. I am with.
Tanya and
Cool.
Corey.
Matt.
And so first thing to kick off with, we're gonna do Cast Shift Erase, the game show of the channel. So let me pull up the picture for it. All right, so this past week, Matt came up with the cash shifter race, and he chose Maui, Medusa, and B Prep. Obviously, we had to stick the Enchanted Matt up there because he is Maui. Once he cut his hair off, he is no longer Maui, but we don't talk about it. It'll be back soon, I promise. So first off, we're gonna go into the Discord and talk about some of your audience input and share that. Metz Bauer, someone who talks every single time we do Cash Shifter Race, and we appreciate him. He said he's going to cast Be Prepared. This has to be in the game to keep aggro in check and have an answer to wide boards and overextension. Uninkable is needed to balance the card a bit. Shift, he chose Maui. While not too overpowered, he is a big boy. The change I would make would be making this card uninkable. I think that makes perfect sense considering most cards with Rush tend to be uninkable besides Fox. And then we have his erase is Medusa. He said the card is Tremaine on steroids, hits too many targets while avoiding his own ability, limits the deck decisions too much. Anything 3 or less power just feels so much worse because of Medusa. I agree with a lot of what he said. What do you guys think?
I
I
mean,
agree.
yeah,
That was a lot of what I said, and I think Corey said similar stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and I think I said something very similar. I just think Medusa is terrible for the game because every good card that comes out for steel or any other color, we're just immediately like, oh, is it Medusa-able? Yep,
Yeah.
not worth playing.
That's like the first question on the flow chart.
Yeah.
Oh, for real, yeah.
That's how you check
Um,
if the legendaries are good or not.
Alrighty. Drew, local player, commented in the Discord as well. He said, Cast, be prepared. Without this card, there's no punish for aggro or the go wide deck. So he agrees with Mets. He says it's a necessary evil. Shift, he would choose Madame Medusa. He said he would make her a 7 cost and a 3/3. Her effect is very good to offset the make her the cost would do more or to make her effect less is kind of what he said. Is like it would be less broken if she cost more when she hit the board and would make
And
her
if
a
she could
three
die to
three.
her own ability.
I like the idea of making her a 3/3 because I just like the idea of making her smaller. I think like any way
Yeah.
to kill her, like the fact that she's also a unit is insane. Um, and then he said he would erase Maui. The card has virtually no drawbacks and is inkable, and it will be a staple in red decks forever. I think that's fair.
There.
You
Yeah, I
think
agree.
you guys think we'll see a card that's better than Maui anytime soon? Takes that
No,
slot.
no.
No.
All right, and then the last one that we're gonna read is gonna be Duck Beanie Senpai, also a consistent responder, and we appreciate him. He said, "Cast Maui, great card that can be answered by a variety of things, can be inked and set and acts as a pseudo removal. The ideal red card." I love the one that the ones that everybody always change, and the ones that we consider most broken are the better cards of the three. Duck Bean tends to like. He's like, I want to
Yeah.
keep that one the same.
Let's make that one
Uh,
better.
let's make that one better. He said, Shift, be prepared. I might ruffle some feathers here, but prefacing this with, I think this card is wonderful as it is, but in the spirit of Cast Shift Erase, let's make it cost 8, make it inkable, and change the tech to characters that cost 5 or less. Making it cost 1 more accommodates it being inkable and not as useful in the super control matchups. Since most of what I've seen is saying this card is good against the go wide decks, changing the text to 5 or less makes it still very good in those matchups while also letting you keep your 6 costs and higher removal pieces. That's very interesting and detailed and well thought out. You guys have any thoughts on that shift?
Uh, I think it makes sense. I just think that it's even though it's like a super like overpowered card, it's like we kind of said in the first two. I think it's a necessary evil to board wipe. Um, uh, so I think the effect is good, but sometimes you're in a matchup where like you're at like 3 B preps. They know you have B prep in hand, and they spam the board to force the prep, and then they slam their big tutors out or their big bodies after, and then you're like, all right, well, just prep again. So I think it's necessary in that instance to just like be a complete board wipe, but I like the idea.
Fair.
Yeah, the 5 or less, I felt like concerned me because then how do you deal with the real large bodies?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that maybe obviously be prep necessary. Maybe this card could exist as its own card though in a separate color, right? Because we got Under the Sea in green that like does the things with 2 or less attacks, and maybe we could get a border wipe in another color that maybe doesn't necessarily banishes them, but like kind of how we talked about in blue, maybe we get like a board wipe that sends everything to the inkwell on both
Yeah, I
sides
was
or
gonna say
something.
that.
It costs 5 or less. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting. Um, and then his erase, as a lot of people would do, is Madame Medusa.
Yeah.
It's a removal piece that takes care of a ton of relevant cards in the game, and that would normally be a very tricky to remove. It's a great card, but the argument can also be made that it's just a slot in more removal if the card didn't exist. That's fair. What do you guys think? I'll let y'all go first with this. Matt, why don't you kick us off with your cast shift erase?
Um, I would cast Be Prepared because the board wipe, like we said, I feel like is necessary. I think the way it is now is fine. I mean, maybe making it not a song. I would shift Madame Medusa. I like what Metz said. I believe it was Metz about making her a 7 cost. That was what I had thought originally. Because if she's at the same cost to Be Prepared, I feel like you wouldn't play as many of her, and then it just wouldn't be as big of a problem.
You disappearing.
And then I guess that leaves Maui to erase because, like they said, he does have no drawback currently. It seems like a card that will be 4 of forever, like they said. And yeah, and then just having to use like Hercules or something else instead, I feel like would make it a lot more balanced.
I like that. Corey, you want to go next?
Yeah, I didn't respond in the group, so I'll just recap kind of what I said. I think cast B prep is one of the best cards in the game. Is necessary evil. Everybody's kind of said that same sentiment. I said for Medusa, I would shift it to hit cards so that costs 3 or less, not 3 power. It immediately answers like 75% of the characters in the game, so it's just like it's like I said, it's kind of awful for game design. And then I would erase Maui. It's OP, inkable, and already has cards that could slot in to replace it. Plus, the card looks way too good with Matt's face on it.
That is factual.
Fair.
Yeah, I like that take on the Medusa shift. Cool. Tanya.
Same thing. I would do I would cast, is it cast? Okay. I would cast B prep. As much as I hate being B prepped, and I think all of us hate being B prepped, it is a necessary evil. I would shift Medusa. My sentiment was making her 3/3 so she can die to her own effect. And also like her being a 4/4 is just like getting rid of her. You're generally like either throwing 2 bodies at her or 2 kill spells or something like that. Using a Zeus where I'd rather use that on a location or something. And then I'd erase Maui. You made a comment earlier. You're like most rush cards are uninkable. It's like most good rush cards that could replace Maui are uninkable. There's a lot of rush cards that are inkable. They're just really bad, and they have like 1 health or something, and they only swing for 3. But yeah, Maui is just like too overpowered. It's so good.
I like that idea of Medusa being able to like kill herself because like Tremaine, like she like already kills Tremaine. Like when you slap Tremaine down and then the Medusa comes down as the follow up, you're like, dang. So if you could like reverse slap the Medusa, that'd keep that tempo shift going. For me, it's very similar to you guys. Be prepared is obviously going to be my cast. I think a dark hole like effect is just definitely necessary in a game where there's no player interaction, so burn is inevitable. Have to erase Matt. Very sorry. For the same reasons that everybody else has said. And the shift on Medusa that I would do is an idea that actually came from our teammate Michael. I really like the idea of when when Medusa comes into play, the character that she chooses to get rid of would come back when she dies. So like she's a temporary removal for cards. So if you play her and the thing goes away and they prep or they get rid of it, they get their card back, and that's just an extra layer of things you'd have to think about while playing. And maybe we would see less of her or none at all, but I think that'd be a good way to fix things.
It's just me for a second. Corey had to go downstairs.
That would be dope if you could hit your own stuff with Medusa.
Oh yeah, so you could
prep it off and then bring your thing back.
Yeah, dude, that'd be cool.
That would just be
so you
broken.
kind of tag. You could like tag it out, prep her, bring it back. Oh, that'd be pretty sick.
You guys are cooking too hard right now.
7 costs so she can sing it.
Bro, and she's a 7 cost. That's a common.
That's why I said. That's why one of the things I didn't say was make her 7, because like I don't want her singing B prep. Like
Yeah,
she can already sing. She can already sing Teeth. She can already sing B King, Friends. Like I don't want her singing B prep.
Yeah,
I don't
wish she had
any of the good songs.
I wish she had next to no health, so like you could just wipe her with like steel cards.
It makes no sense. So big.
Yeah, 4/4 is crazy.
She
They could have made her a 4/3. I think a 4/3 would have been acceptable.
She could be like a 2/2, and I don't feel like it changes how people play her.
Yeah, the fact that she costs the same and her effect is better than Tremaine's, but Tremaine has 1 less power. They were just like, let's boost this one.
Yeah, we have to make this one better.
All right, so the next thing we're going to kind of talk about is where Tanya and Coy are at this weekend, or at least they just got there this weekend. I'll let Tanya kind of wrap that up and tell us about your experience so far.
So we're at Gen Con this weekend. We're hopefully going to meet another one of the Ohana people here at Braden. But we came to Gen Con. We came last year for the Lorcana release. That was like literally our whole purpose of coming to Gen Con last year. And we finally made it here this year. It took us a solid 24 hours, a canceled flight, 2 delays, and an extra hotel room, but we made it. Corey's back so he can talk too, but it's Gen Con, I think, is going to be like a really good place for Lorcana in the future, at least. Because like especially this year they came out, like last year they had pins, like exclusive pins, exclusive promos. This year I think they got like an entire exhibit hall just for Lorcana. There's tons of events running like literally every single day. I think every hour they have 1 event or 2 going, like 2 different ones. So like I think that Gen Con is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited, and there's a lot of board games, so
can you get the villainous with the Prince John promo there?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sure you could, because it's literally Gen Con's always been a board game convention.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, I've seen it like in the wild, like not supposed to be street dated, but I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, I've seen it on Facebook too, where people are opening it for the promo.
Are there any specific events you guys are excited for?
Pods.
I've
been talking about pods for like a month.
She's excited for pods. I'm just excited to do constructed. I signed up for like constructed challenge and some sort of draft or sealed.
Yeah, I think we did set 3 and 4 sealed,
1 and 2
draft, set 1 and 2 draft. We both are doing a constructed. I'm doing a pods. Corey didn't want to do pods. Even though he accidentally signed up for pods for like 4 days, and then he had to go back through and change it. I
like pods are fun, but they're too political. So
I think it's just too political when it's like a bunch of people you know. Like I think pods
turn
like
on the charm.
I am not going to charm anyone with my pod deck. My pod deck is grotesque.
Is very toxic.
But
yeah, well, shout out to Braden. He's there. I think he said he won his event today. He got one of the mats in the Mickey.
Yeah, he got an exclusive mat today.
Yeah, I think he did some sort of draft.
Will's also there, right?
Yeah, Will's working with Alpha Clash, I think.
Yeah.
Shout out Will, and also fan of the team, friend of the team, Demetrius is working there with his wife.
Oh yeah, Demetrius is here.
Yeah, so he's at the altar booth.
All right, so then now let's jump into kind of our last couple weeks of tournament experience. Luca, who is not here, he ended up top 128ing the challenge and getting yet another let it go, and somebody else did as well.
Ooh.
Who?
No, it was me. I got 101 out of, I don't know, like 1,900 people or something.
It was like 1968.
Got me one of them pretty blue cards.
I did not get to go to the challenge, so how was that experience for y'all?
It was dope.
The first round was miserable, but then after that, it was absolutely amazing.
How was this challenge for you guys compared to Atlanta?
I mean, Tanya was in Atlanta, so she probably can't speak to it. I think it was basically the same. I think the side events were more organized.
That's good, right?
They were still kind of like hectic to get into because like I couldn't tell like where I was supposed to go because like some people were just like walking up to the side events table and seemed like they were like getting events, and then like other people were like standing around like on their phone trying to sign up for events. So I think that part still isn't clear.
They should have a board that's like, these are the events we have. If you want to do on demand, like
on demand,
this is how you do on demand. Like I think that because like we had to ask and then we had to like remember everything. But other than that, like I think like from what you guys told me, I definitely think it was more organized.
Yeah.
Like I felt like it was fine.
Yeah. And on demand's definitely like a super good ad. I think we did like the little pack rush game,
that was so
which
stupid.
so it was funny because Tanya forgot that she was supposed to go to 15. Then it was the game ended at 15, and I was already at like 12. She didn't even swing into my stuff. She just quested because she was like, "I'm gonna get to 20 before you." And I
thought
was like,
it was 10. Me and Matt thought
Yeah,
it
they
was
said
10.
it was 10, and then
They said it was 10.
and now it's 15. Now it's 15.
Like, oh, it's 15. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. But I was at like 12, and Tanya was like, oh, I'm going to get to 20 before you. And I was like, good thing I only need to get to 15.
Yeah, no, I was brain dead. I was brain dead after top 128ing the first day.
And you pulled an enchanted in the side of it.
Oh, yeah, I did pull an enchanted in day 2.
How was your tournament experience over the last couple weeks, Matt?
They've been all right. Store champs were kind of rough. Dallas was definitely, I feel like, more smooth than Atlanta, but that's just to be expected as they move on. Melee seemed to work round by round, which was like my biggest complaint last time, so that's nice.
I still feel like,
like freezing in there, even though
it was funny.
So cold.
I remember you when you guys were at the challenge and we were at Comic Dimension and Melee like stopped working. We're all like, it's because these guys in Texas.
Yeah, we should get the priority. Like, I don't care about your store champ.
But yeah, for me, while you guys were gone, I was able to pick up a store champ dub with red purple, the Luca 60, as it were. And then this past weekend, I made the finals with blue steel, the baby. And then it treated me very horrible the next day. So I sucked all the juices out in one go, as I do. So let's go ahead and pause here because the meeting's going to end. And then the last thing we actually just have to do is the bracket, which I think will take probably about the same time as this. And then thoughts on how things will shift. And that'll be that. Cool. See y'all back in like 10 minutes. Cord. All right, guys. So the next segment that we're gonna do is we're gonna do a bracket, single elimination style discussion. It's not necessarily gonna show us the best card in Shimmering Skies, but we're gonna take a look at some of the around 32 of the best cards. Matt graciously picked these out for us. We're gonna go single elimination style. We're gonna pull the two up and we're gonna discuss them, and we're gonna see which card is the winner of the tournament here. So we're gonna pull Pete. Exciting card for this set. And we shit.
No, lock that in place. Lock it in place.
I don't know how to do that.
Click on the back. Click on the back. Like click. No. Just click it.
It's locked. All right, I'll edit that out.
These two up against each other.
Two of the best cards.
You should have put these on opposite sides.
I put it in order. I wanted like this.
Too bad. We got a beef, bro. All right. So the first one's gonna be a heater. I'll let you guys go ahead and talk. Tanya and Cora can take the discussion off for the first set. What do you guys think about these two cards?
these two cards are easily like two of the better low cost cards, rather.
No, these are just straight up two of the best cards in the next set. Like Pete locking characters, locking you out of actions is just like makes like
turn changing.
Yeah, it makes like Amber still like able to go like hyper aggro, just like Amber, Amethyst, and other hyper aggro decks. Just because like you slap it down, they can't prep, they can't brawl, they can't let it go, they can't mob song, you can't do anything but challenge. Yeah. So it's just like it's. I think this card's really OD. I think purple still is obviously going to be able to bounce it and utilize it the best. So like that kind of like hurts it a little bit because I don't think purple still is like a crazy good deck. But this character is like super good. However, it's going against Daisy Duck, which is arguably the best card in this set. I think a 1-drop, even though it's uninkable, doesn't matter. That quest for 2 and it has a 4 butt instead of a 1 butt is just like infinite value. The drawback of revealing your opponent's top card if it's a character that get it like is just like whatever, like because you don't really care, you're just trying to race, and it basically takes until, I mean, there's a couple of combos to get it on turn 2, but it's usually staying alive till turn 3. A 1-drop that's got you 6 lore is served its purpose greatly, so I just don't see how. I mean, even these two are really hard to pick, and I'd still go Daisy Duck. I think it's going to shape the meta.
I almost want to go Pete. I just like Daisy's effect is like makes her like better than other 1-drops that quest for 2 and her butt, obviously, but like I don't know. I guess if you're in a race game, like I would always pick Daisy, but like thinking of like a deck that I'm gonna play for next set, I'm picking Pete.
Matt, what are you thinking? I'll be the tiebreaker mediator of this since there's 4 of us.
How's that tiebreaker?
You would make it a tie.
I would go Pete. I just think.
All right,
I thought Pete was a 2-3 the whole time until I was looking at him. And I just feel like Pete's good no matter what. He's like, you're always going to play him in steel. I could see an Amber deck that doesn't play Daisy, and then I don't feel like Daisy is as great later on. Like, obviously, if you have him in the beginning and your turn 1 is Daisy and your turn 2 is Daisy, then you're probably zooming and it doesn't matter. But if you just draw it later on, I feel like you wouldn't be as happy. So I'd have to go Pete.
All right.
And you could also, I'll just bridge in and say you could say the same argument for Pete, because if I'm playing hyper aggro, I got no songs in my deck. Or if I'm playing,
then I'm inking it.
If I'm playing Amber Ruby, I also have no songs in my deck. So it's like you're kind of wasting a turn if you're playing it.
I think the argument there though is like, then I'm gonna ink him. What am I gonna do with Daisy? Just hold her in my hand, because like you don't want her to like it, especially later in the game. You're not gonna want her to like give your opponent cards in his hand. Like that's just my opinion.
2 to 1, 2 to 1.
Just kind of a much better version of a harp. So I just see her being played in that same fashion.
Hey, coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, this card is basically Cold Wave, so that card's banned. So we'll go ahead and stick Pete up here.
Yeah, we win.
2-1 in right now. Definitely a hard one to start with. Matt cooked up with the choices here.
I can't believe he put those two on the same side. You're crazy.
He said it's in order of what he thinks is the best cards in the set. So it's literally like the whole left side is just loaded.
Yeah. Our next 2 are going to be 2 of my favorite cards in the set easily, both in the same color. We've got the new Cusco 6-drop and the new Mufasa 8-drop, both in blue. Corey started us off last time, I think. Tanya, what do you think about these cards?
Hold on. When you play this character, you may put an item or location. I can't remember what it does. Oh, Cusco, they're so good. Oh, okay, so coming from a blue steel player, I want to move away from playing such high cost characters because I feel like it just takes us so freaking long to like set up and like get it out there, like all all that shit stuff. Um, I think Cusco is better because it removes something, and Quest for Two. Just it's a 3/5, so it just dies the Medusa. Ugh. I don't know. I like Cusco because it has removal, which is nice for blue steel. But getting 2 random cards out of my inkwell, I'll be putting some bangers in my inkwell sometimes. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Cusco.
What you thinking, Matt?
I would also go Cusco. Not sold on Mufasa yet, or how
Yeah.
the people are going to use it. Cusco's just good no matter what. He's got the same thing where he's inkable if you don't need him. The resist thing I could see coming up, like in Blue Steel, the resist helps a lot, and if you combo them with cogs and whatnot. And even just you can even just like get your own popsicle to just continue ramping. Like you don't have to use it as removal.
True. It becomes an exerted, but still, it's just like a 1 jump if you're gonna use it on your turn.
I think this is a sweep because I also think Cusco is definitely the better card here. I think Cusco answers like Blue's biggest problems, which is
Removal.
red purple because you just lost the castle control.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10, you were just if they stuck 2 castles, you lost, and now you have a way to. Granted, it goes to their inkwell, but you're dealing with the location.
Yeah.
So I think Cusco is just better. I think Mufasa is very niche, and I think it has a few combo lines that you can do that if they pop off, you're definitely just winning that game. And it's a better dime target, but
it requires too much to like set up. I
don't even think it takes a lot to set up, honestly. I just think Cusco is better because it gives the deck what it needed.
I also enjoy how Cusco would make a blue mare match miserable if you just ink the dime.
I mean, it's already miserable. You know, it's limited time.
Might be even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what all y'all
Looking
said.
forward to that.
I think that what Matt said, it was kind of like you kind of really don't know the potential of Mufasa right now because of like we haven't seen a lot of the cooking. Like we know that inkable 6 drops are good in blue, right? Like they come out on curve, they sing wheel. This one deals with a location, so it's a Rise of the Titans on play. Like we know that is 100% good for sure. We do not know how crazy Mufasa is going to be yet. Like it could end up like because I never know. Sometimes cards in this game are awful, and I think they're all right, and sometimes I think they're awful, and then they turn out to be insane. So I don't
know. He's never gonna let this go.
I never said anything bad about B King. It's literally just Luca. All right, so Cusco's making it to the next round. Rip Dad in the first round. He does go down early in the movie, so that's only makes sense for the plot.
This next one's.
Yeah, you got it.
Do we even have to talk about this? Like Prince Naveen.
I mean, Elsa's good. Don't get me wrong, but Prince Naveen is cracked.
Are we talking about this? Like,
yeah, no, go ahead. You gotta elaborate on these cards.
Like, I'm not even.
Matt, you got an opinion on this? We'll start with you.
Prince Naveen is obviously the better card. I like the Elsa
saying that.
But I mean, playing him and then just playing Wheel for free, it was like ridiculously broken, and then just allows Amber Steel to be so much more aggro and not need the shift lines that they needed before. And the Elsa, I really like. I think it brings back the set 1 shift Elsa as well, and then just being able to tap anything down is good on its own and can be comboed with other cards to make that part useful. And then it obviously would kill a Diablo being evasive. And yeah, but Naveen is the better one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna dunk on the Elsa. I think the Elsa is a great card for what it
Man.
is. I think purple can definitely abuse it. I think it'll be a heavily used card in like a blue purple like list
Blurple.
with Elsa and Anna's.
Mhm.
But yeah, the value of Prince Naveen immediately singing a song when it comes into play is just you can't beat that because
Yeah.
the right now the biggest issue with the wheel is like if you don't hit the shift line, you're usually like getting to 5, singing wheel to refill your hand, and then it's your opponent's turn. Whereas this one, you're paying for, you're singing it for free. It's still going to be your opponent's turn, but you don't have to exert like all of your resources to do it.
Prince Naveen.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what y'all are saying. I do. I think this Elsa is going to be crazy. I'm really excited for the potential of Elsa the big Elsa from set one to come back. Like Matt said, I think a lot of what Matt said is great because she's going to tap it down and she might not have a lot of attack herself, but she's going to combo in with something, probably live afterwards, which is nice because she's also evasive. But one of the craziest things in Amber Steel, or one of the faults of the Amber Steel, or the singer mechanic in general, right, is when your singers get removed, you have
Mm-hmm.
to lose the tempo by replaying your singers or casting songs or hard casting songs for that turn. And then
Yeah.
you don't get to play singers again, or you don't get to do one or the other. This card lets you do both in the same turn after losing your board, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they needed.
As a red purple player, like anytime they played Ariel, added a whole new world, and I was like, brawl, thank you. And now if I brawl the Ariel, I look stupid because they're just gonna play Naveen next turn.
They're
You
going
look
to play
stupid
Naveen on
anyways.
the
You
floor.
can't brawl Ariel.
Yes, you can. Ariel's a 2/3.
Wait, what? Oh, fuck. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of something else.
I don't know.
Oh man.
You're thinking of the Ward Blue Ariel.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
So is this
That's
is it?
Naveen crap. Yeah.
All right, Naveen is making it on to the next round. Sorry, Elsa.
Can you at least make them the same size?
Can you make them the same size, Tanya?
It's your job today, boo.
No.
You could pair this Elsa with the other Elsa that gives Challenger +3. Ooh, Blurple. So good.
I think Purple's cracked. This one's gonna be so hard.
Is
I
that the
thought about
library?
it
If this
earlier.
is
I
the
thought about it so
library,
hard. When I was building this, it was on the brain. All right, the next one is You're Welcome versus the Library. Does anybody want to take off the talking, or I can?
I go for it.
All right. It was very hard. I've been very excited for a card like You're Welcome in green. We have not had just straight up removal in green, but with the evolution of the current Emerald Amber deck, I think that with all the bounce that the green deck already has, comboed with the discard, you're essentially removing those cards anyway. So giving them 2 cards is kind of a neg just for another piece of pseudo. This one's actual removal, but you're going to remove it anyway by your game plan typically. And what kind of weighs the library into being better to me is Chernobog's followers and the Magic Broom are going to go crazy with this card, dude. Like the 2/1 drops you already played with red purple just got a location that made it better. Like you're gonna draw 2 cards per time off of each of those, like, and gain lore every turn, and it has an 8 butt, and it's inkable and comes down on 3. This card is absolutely cracked.
Yeah, I agree with all that sentiment, and I also would say the other deck that's going to be very apparent in the next format is going to be Amber Amethyst, and you replace this Queen's Castle with this and that list, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm at 16 lore. You're going to 7 ink. I put all my characters at the library. Are you going to beat prep me and give me a hand of 5 cards? I don't think so. So, because like if you do, I'm just winning the next turn 9 times out of 10. So I think it even just anytime a character is managed there, you draw a card is really OD. I do love You're Welcome, but I just don't see it stacking up the library because it's basically just a Queen's Castle a turn earlier. So, and like the biggest thing with Queen's Castle was when you move characters there and they removed it, you didn't get the draw. Cool, you got the 2 war, but you might like maybe needed the cards in hand because you spent the resources to get there. And like this, if they remove it, you're still getting the cards. So, like I said, just don't. There's no drawback to this location.
I'm going with the library. As much as I hate it because it just red purple doesn't need like anything else. But it's on it between the yeah, no, the library is just so good.
I think it's good in red purple, but I think it's even crazier in amber.
Oh yeah,
amber amethyst.
I'm playing that.
Their
in
problem was like running out of gas, and now they just don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, Matt?
I think You're Welcome is better because purple's already had all the draw, so it's just kind of interchangeable with the other cards. Where green needed something like You're Welcome, and then it's. You said that you didn't think it was as good in green yellow, but I think it's like perfect for
Oh no,
them.
I think it fits perfectly. It fits the theme absolutely, but you're already like you're gonna bounce their cards and discard them anyway, so it's kind of doing the job without giving them
Yeah,
cards
but
to
it
draw.
allows you to bounce the items and the locations that would be like quite a problem for that deck, I feel like. And then just,
Actually,
giving them the cards and then ripping them and then drawing with Prince John is crazy. You just sing this with Muse and like trigger the Muse. And then I feel like this also helps a lot of the other green decks that have less like strategy and are just kind of more aggro. And then this definitely will help them out as well.
Yeah, I do think it would be correct to like sing this and then play like You Have Forgotten Me or
Yeah.
something, just like rip cards.
it's gonna be crazy in purple green because you got things like goat and rabbit. They're gonna be singing it too.
I also like that this helps mill strategy.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that R&B was talking about cooking up some green mill. All right, it was the final consensus 2-1 in favor of the library.
I think it's 3-1
Thanks a lot
library.
for
Yeah.
the library.
My vote doesn't count.
He's just a tiebreaker.
Not a mediator. Tie can't break ties. There's no ties, as Matt said.
Oh, true.
I'm the reason that there would be a tie. So
He's a tie maker.
yeah. Tie maker. All right, next.
What is it? Oh, make
Well,
it big.
The new Clarabelle and Hideaway.
Can you make Clarabelle bigger so I can read her? I don't remember the effects of all these cards yet.
Yeah.
Not like you guys.
All right. So we got the new Clarabelle. She's a 7-drop inkable 5/6 that quests for 2, just for 5. At the end of the turn, if your opponent has more cards in their hand than you may draw a card. So you have the same number, very similar to that new Lion King action. And we got the 2-drop blue Hideaway. Put chosen item or location of the player's inkwell face down and exerted. Cost only 2. Kind of crazy. You want to kick it off on this one, Matt?
I think Clarabelle was the better card because she gives green a hand refill when they normally spit out their hand real quickly, and it's something that your opponent can't do anything about. So you just let them draw up, and then you just keep playing cards, and then she comes in. I'm not too familiar with her shift targets, but I assume they're decent. And then the other card, obviously, when you read it, it sounds crazy, but it's just a 1 cost cheaper Rise of the Titans that gives your opponent ink, and then that's obviously not good early in the game. So I feel like that card may just be kind of overhyped at the moment. I'm not really sure how it will fit into the other blue decks.
Connor Court.
I kind of feel the same way. I think my initial response when I read Hideaway was like I was like, oh, this card's OD. Like this card's exactly like again, it's another just like the Cusco, I was like, it's another way to out the items and locations that the deck would typically struggle against. Um, I guess it being blue kind of makes it a little better than Rise of the Titans just because you can put it in blue red and like any you can mix it with any blue deck. So like it kind of solves the problem for the whole blue color. versus like just like the specific blue steel deck. Um, but I think Clarabelle, I think having played green still a good amount, like there are times where on like turn two, like you're down to like one card in hand because you did like the shift Diablo line, and your Diablo gets like answered immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're struggling to get the draw power. So I think Clarabelle is pretty good. I would probably give it to Hideaway in my opinion, just because I think it's better for the color in general. But I think Clarabelle's a great card.
I like Clarabelle. I want to point out she doesn't die to Medusa either.
No, W.
Shift in Clarabelle, senior welcome. Crazy.
I'm pretty. I don't think Clarabelle has any cards, does she? Until this set, like there's like
I think
three.
there's three, two. I think there's a one drop, a three, a two drop, a three drop, and then this one.
Yeah.
I think.
So like her shift targets are literally all coming from this set. But same thing that Corey said. When I was playing Emerald Steel, I think a lot of the issues that I would run into is like my Diablo getting answered immediately, losing my hand size, and just like not having resources to do anything. And I will say that is like probably like 90% of the reason why I would end up losing games is like top decking is just miserable. So I like Clarabelle. I think that
She has a one drop, 1/2. When you play this character, you may pay 2 to banish a chosen item, so it helps you enter items. And then there's a 3 drop, 2/3. When you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their hand than you, draw a card.
That's
I
pretty
want
good.
to do it.
her shift targets are even good.
Her 3
Yeah.
drop shift target is really
I
good.
can see like a world where just the 3 drop gets played.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so is it 2-1 in favor of Clarabelle?
Clarabelle, yeah.
Alrighty, Hideaway is a good card, but Clarabelle makes it to the
Enchanted.
next round.
She did, yeah.
Oh,
She
her
got a really
enchanted
nice
is so good.
enchanted.
I can't believe you didn't put the enchanteds in here.
Yeah,
Loser. No, I'm just kidding.
Amateur.
that's me.
He's a noob. He's a noob, guys.
Prince Naveen enchanted is
All the enchanteds in this set just take my money. Oh,
And next we have a straight up burn card and the elephant.
these two are both so good.
All right, so we've got the Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom and the Madam M Elephant next. So Game 2 lore or Fat Elephant? What y'all thinking?
Fat elephant.
the elephant. It's cute.
I agree. Elephant is definitely the better of these two cards.
Or just like teething the elephant and then being like, if this lives, I'm killing your other stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We haven't got to the other card yet that makes this card actually insane, which is like Cogsworth in two brackets. Because like you just play this and then like you cogs it, kill something, and then next turn it stands, move 2 damage, kill something else, like or banish something else. Sorry, it's just there's way more potential with that. I think there's definitely going to be a time and a place for gathering knowledge and wisdom. But I think it's going to be in like a green purple like action loop deck.
Yeah. Or I would even say like it could go into like if you thinking of like aggro decks, like because you always like end up needing like, oh, that 2 lore. I played an aggro deck in Fort Worth. She got to 14 lore before I got the 2. And then it was a fight. Like I was literally throwing my Diablos into her characters to like try to wipe her board. And like obviously like you lose gas with like a lot of oh my gosh, my brain
Wasn't
is
it
like,
a Blorple aggro?
yeah, it was literally a blurple aggro. If she had this card in her deck, I lost.
Yeah.
But I did not top 128 if she had this card in her deck, like guaranteed. So it's like I think like in like some aggro decks, especially blurple, like this card could see play because like if you end up like your library doesn't proc, like they get rid of it somehow, whatever, like you're able to just kind of like give yourself that extra with this card.
Yeah.
But like I don't think right now is that time. But I don't know. I think it needs. I don't know where it would like fit either, because like people don't even play like Sorcerer's Hat anymore, like to gain the 2 lore in purple or the 1 lore in purple. Like so, this card is just kind of like it's good.
I think it'll see play eventually for sure. It's just a burn card, like straight up. All right, so I guess the elephant takes it up.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Sorry, Merlin Burn. It goes to the big. I'm just gonna leave him this size. Takes up the whole thing. All right. Next two.
Which one's is this Merlin?
Yeah.
We got Merlin. The first card to tutor something from the deck. And the Sven.
When you play this character, you need ready
the ready target.
You can't quest or challenge. Oh, but they can sing.
Alrighty. You want to start off, Tiny? You like blue cards?
I just feel like Merlin's better. But like I guess for Amber Steel, like being able to re-ready your characters, like grab your swords twice is just stupid, like without having to expend like you play this Fen after you just grab your swords your opponent's board, you grab your swords again with your aerial. Like that's stupid. But I don't know, like I just Merlin's really only gonna see because Merlin right now, right, only has like purple shift targets.
No, it's a blue one. They just gave another one in this.
Isn't it I think it's a 1-drop blue. I don't know. Like I just like the 1-drop blue. Like it literally does nothing. I don't think it's just it's a vanilla.
No, it's not.
The set one, I think.
One from set one has support. It's
yeah,
bigger than a 1-drop.
They just made the new one is like him and his beachwear.
Yeah, this one, the new set's a 4-drop, 1/4, quest for 2. Your character's named Arthur, gain resist. So that's kind of useless.
I don't. I think Merlin's better. I don't think you're ever worried about actually shifting this card. I think you're just playing it.
Card casting.
Yeah, you're just playing it in blue with ramp to like search your deck for like your dime or your aerial.
You have to shift him to trigger the effect.
Yeah, you have to shift. Yeah.
That's why he's not good.
That's why
they're giving him bad shift targets.
Yeah, that's why I don't think this card is that good. Is because you have to have the shift.
Would they give the turtle right? That was like is it a 2?
Something. It
doesn't. Yeah, like you can shift it onto Rabbit. Like we're playing it in Blurple. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's only good in that one deck. Like nobody's playing. Like realistically,
I actually think this card's pretty good in Blurple just because you
can absolutely
you can combo it with Bruno as well. Because like the turtle lets you look at the top card of your deck and either keep it there or put it on the bottom. I think so. You could like combo it with like Merlin and Yzma or like Merlin Bruno, like cards like that. Like I think would be actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think that like Merlin has limitless potential. Like the longer the game goes on, the more like Merlins we get. Like
and I feel like Sven is just a bigger LeFou, right?
Right.
I just think it's a like Merlin is a time and place. Like but I don't think its place or time is right now. Like
we haven't touched the format yet, so it's like kind of hard to say that it doesn't fit right now because like it could like there could be like a OD Blurple list that we just haven't looked at yet. So
that's true. Me and Matt have been talking about Blurple forever too.
But I think for this we have to just go off like potential maybe because I think they're both like all right cards. I just feel like Merlin is gonna see play a lot longer in the game than the Sven would.
Yeah, I feel like the slots in like Amber Steel are just too tight.
I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily go into Amber Steel.
Well, I'm just saying, like for like what you would think is like the best, like potential wise. I mean, like would they even play it in yellow green? I don't think
so. They want it in yellow red.
Yeah,
I think you
back Gaston and then tap him again. 4 for free.
Yeah. I also think like there could be a place for it in yellow green just because like I think with the new Maribel, there's a lot of people talking about the queen, so you could like use the queen effect to exert herself to discard a Maribel, play Sven, use the queen to exert herself, discard something else or another Maribel, and that's like 10 lore.
Oh, you could do this in blue blue yellow like location.
The character can exert themselves for like their own effect. So I think there's also like decent potential there too, but
I can play Tritons. I just think
Merlin is probably a little bit better, being able to tutor anything from the deck.
Yeah, I think Merlin is obviously a better card, and the more the game goes, he just gets crazier and crazier. If they give him a good shift target, he becomes like broken. But I
Yeah.
think since, however, the reindeer, I think makes an impact on the meta right away, and I don't think Merlin like sees that much play right away. That's kind of hard to pick one, but I guess you have to go Merlin just because of the potential.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Sven, very good card, but Merlin takes it because of its ability to grab anything.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like it can literally get you whatever card you need.
Yeah. I want to tap. I want to play Sven, re-ready my Triton, banish another item, gain 6 lore real quick. Sheesh.
All right, last two of the left side of the bracket. We've got the new Inkable 6-drop Mother Gothel Floodborn and the new Cogsworth.
Oh, Corey's like disappearing because I'm leaning in too far. Can you make her bigger? Sorry.
Yeah.
I need glasses.
Matt, would you like to take the lead on these?
It's a bounce card.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think the Gothel is a real good card. I think it's cool they gave green like a Lady Tremaine that gets over Medusa and is inkable, since obviously bouncing is not as good as just banishing it. The art's amazing. I'm not also familiar with this one's shift target.
She has a lot of shifts. She has shift targets in from set.
It's mostly
Is
they're
there a
all
small green
red,
one?
and then she got a new green one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did get a green one in this set.
I thought she had a green one before. She has a green one
She
already.
has a
She's
big
a big
six
green
drop
card
green.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
the
she
2-drop
was
1/3. When you play this character, you may pay 3 to return chosen character to player hand.
Oh yeah, it's the one with the built-in Mother Knows Best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the 2-drop red one that comes into play with damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the Cogsworth is like crazy right away, and for 1 mana, 1 ink, it's just such a good effect to give to anything, and then just like always keeps your opponents honest that he might come out, and like doesn't allow them to quest the Buckies and their shift targets like they would, or Flynn freely.
Yeah, it takes away the greed.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I played
And
so
Cogs has needed a good shift target for the blue one, so here he is.
Heck yeah, Blurple shift target.
Yeah, this is like what this is all kind of like things I've been saying in like our chat is like I think Blorple is like really scary because they gave Cogsworth a good shift target. There's a ton of like Elsa support, there's a ton of Exert support, and like those are all those colors like thrive on.
That was my guy, not a hero.
I think Cogsworth is the better card.
Same.
I think green. I think Gothel has like a decent place potentially in like Emerald Amber list where you're discarding now without Bucky. But I don't think it fits most other green lists just because we kind of like have learned in the past that returning cards to the hand, if you can't discard them, it doesn't really stop your opponent. It just kind of like delays the inevitable. I feel like when I play bounce style decks.
There's so many ETB effects too, where like bouncing it's not good.
Yeah, but like Cogsworth just coming down and giving like any character like rush is just for one, it's just so good. I think, like I said earlier, with the elephant, I think it pairs really well with that. I also think it's good if you combo with like a snake because like if you don't have fox, you can now like make snake a fox. So I think it has a lot of potential.
Our Cogs is just even good against Mother Gothel. Like play my 1-drop, already use his effect, and then if you play this, I'm just gonna put him back in my hand and get his effect back.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Cogs is the winner.
And this is a combo right here on the screen, as you said.
Yeah.
So I guess y'all are probably going Cogs, right?
Yeah.
I think that Mother Gothel is an insane card for green, but like purple is just insane, and this is a more insane card for purple.
Gothel seems like a card that should have came out like in set 2, or like when green would really needed it.
Yeah, when it definitely like really needed it. Alrighty, so the left side of the bracket is done, and we're gonna move on to the right side in just a minute.
Oh,
Ow.
We gotta wait 10 minutes. The video is about to end, so we'll be back right
This is
after these
take
commercial breaks.
forever.
I feel like this could like this part is like a whole different like
Video.
video.
Absolutely. I was gonna say that.
Bro, I picked a big like I had no other way to fill the time.
Should have
Wait,
just
how
done
long is our first
16.
video?
It's probably like 35 minutes.
Oh, that's fine.
That's
Yeah.
not a full podcast. Pods are at least an hour.
It's
Nah,
fine.
35 is cool.
You
I
want me
think
to
30 is fine, and then you do
Yeah.
this whole own thing.
you say so.
I'm telling you.
I
I'm
think
down.
I can't believe that Pete got picked over Daisy Duck. Daisy Duck's already.
All right, we'll be back.
it was supposed to be the finals matchup, and Pete was supposed to slap her up then.
We'll be back in a few.
Okay.
Alrighty, y'all. We're gonna move to the second side of the bracket now and talk about some more of these Shimmering Skies cards. Next, we got some great ones. We've got Chicha, Pacha's wife from the Emperor's New Groove, and one of the new Wreck-It Ralph cards. Both very good. I'm very excited for the Chicha. I know that Corey's been really excited for the Wreck-It Ralph stuff. What are you guys' thoughts on these cards?
I mean, if I'm just giving like initial impressions, I think the Chicha's significantly better than Wreck-It Ralph. I like Wreck-It Ralph. I feel like he should have been the with his effect. I feel like he should have been the card that had like the reduced play cost. Over the like I can't remember his name right now.
I can't remember it.
Anna's husband or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
But I think Chicha is really good.
Kristoff.
Kristoff. I think Chicha's really good. Obviously in blue you're typically using a ramp package, so you're gonna have Fishbone Quill, one jump which she can sing, and other cards that basically just accelerate ramp. Plus, there's cards coming into the game that we talked about earlier, like Cusco and the Hideaway card that lets you put items and stuff into your inkwell to continue to draw more cards. So I think she has the highest upside. I think Wreck-It Ralph is cool. I would love for him to like be a little bit better, but it's gonna take a while for him to get to a point where he's worth playing in any of the Amber lists. I feel like.
I agree. I like Chicha, but I just wish that it wasn't, because isn't it a card from your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Oh, it's not. I thought it was just if you put a second card.
Oh
Yeah,
no, okay,
it's
I'm thinking of her son. It's her son that's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
never
this
Oh,
was
it's just in general, so it counts one jump. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that card's insane.
Oh, you pair her with Grandma Tala. Matt, I'm cooking in my brain. Me and Matt have been talking about so many different decks.
Chicha is crazy because it isn't from your hand, so you just ink for turn, sing one jump, and then she triggers, you draw. And then
Yeah.
obviously blue is inking twice a turn pretty regularly. I love Ralph. I feel like he's a good card. Like the effect is fine. He's just too expensive. I know he's got the big stats, but like Corey mentioned, if he had some way to pay less, or he seems like a card that should shift, then he'd be a lot better.
I was
But
surprised he wasn't a shift, but I don't
Yeah.
think he has a ton of shift targets yet either. So
There would only be one. The red one
Yeah.
is that, and it's like
Amber has a lot of cards that like reduce play cost, but I think the issue is like you're never keeping those cards on the field long enough to like get to this Ralph.
yeah, you'd have to have like
Yeah.
you have to have like
like Pluto's gone.
Pluto Gaston,
Doc.
Doc,
Yeah.
and then you could play him for what 2?
Oh, okay.
But-
Here's the play.
I could-
You get how much is the Gaston that reduces cost?
2.
it's
Two.
3
Drop
two.
possibly.
So you play him on 2 or whatever, and then you play the new Savan, so you can ready him, and you get to play Ralph on 5 or whatever. Heck yeah,
Right.
Oh.
that's not true. You
Yeah,
don't.
that's like I could see Ralph in the yellow red because you can get back Rapunzel, which will help a lot. But she's like the only princess, so it's kind of
He'd,
dead. Uh,
he'd
Double
be pretty strong
lantern
to.
for
I guess if you're
cooking.
playing the Mulan package,
He'd be pretty strong to hit off Mufasa, just because like
Oh
you quest
yeah.
out, they kill your Mufasa
you
to stop you from winning, and then you get back a princess to gain the lore.
Oh, yeah, yo, that's crazy. You just play them off. That's
But
pretty good.
that's like one application where like Cheech is relevant, probably like almost all blue strategies.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Minnie
course.
Mouse
Yeah.
him, then Mufasa hit to get him out there.
I
Yeah.
think overall, I think we're just going Chicha, right?
Yeah, no, for sure,
Cheech is like what I think I described her as Maurice's workshop, but she didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah. She's also like she also answers the ever struggling issue with Blue when Fishbone Quill comes out, like losing all the
Losing her
resources
hand.
in your hand. So yeah, no, Chicha's really good.
Support is like relative too, I feel.
Yeah. She just randomly also has support, so you're gonna get that extra too when you need it.
They want people to play the Alice, that's why.
This one's good.
Is a good one, yeah. So we've got the new uninkable 7-drop Ohana that exerts everything in his shift 4 against the new Alan from Robin Hood. He's a 4-drop 2/3. Whenever you play a song, gain 1 lore. He is flute on legs and also quest for 2 himself.
Blurple goes crazy next set.
I've been saying it.
I'm so excited.
I feel like that's the issue with this for me is like Anna would only be good in like a blurple list because like to take advantage of the exerting all opposing characters, you have to have like something in play to either keep them exerted or the ink to play characters to remove them from the field.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good, but I think Allendale is super good.
Allendale's so good.
He's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Not being once per turn to gain the lore is super good because if you have like your standard curve of singers and none of them get removed, like there's potential there for you to gain like 3 lore, or like if you just like keep him alive on board, you're just like passively gaining lore with him. He's kind of like a pseudo location, and then like
he ain't staying on the board.
And then like cards, you have like cards like Naveen where he can come into play and sing a song.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're just like super progressing your game state. So I think Alan is like really, really good.
I think I vote Alan here for sure.
What you thinking, Matt?
I think both the cards like sound really good, and when you read them, you're like, "Oh, this is busted." But they both kind of seem like traps to me, since you need multiple other cards to like set them up. And like, Alan is definitely the better card and like has potential use right away. But I just feel like the flute and the other ways you get lore in the song deck is just better, and I can't see another place for Alan. I mean, maybe he could help yellow green.
Yeah, I mean, at least besides like balancing items, which is like a new thing in this set, purple still has like no real outs to flute, right? But they can brawl Alan, so that's like an argument against him, I guess. Card's still insane though.
Yeah.
Y'all going Alan? Is it 3
Yeah.
Alan? All right, Alan the Rockin' Rooster is gonna make it to the next round. Goodbye, Anna. You'll see your day at some point.
I think she'll see play this format.
Yeah, she'll be in the Blurple deck probably, at least tested for sure, right?
Yeah.
I remember when this card came out, everybody was literally like, "This isn't real."
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was just like some art. I was like, all right, that's
remember
cool.
who you are? Yeah, I remember when that card came out. We were talking about it, and I don't remember what store we were in, and everybody's like, "That's not real. That's a fake card. Somebody made that."
I think we were driving back from Atlanta.
Yeah.
After the 10K.
It was like the first card reveal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, its art's gorgeous. It would make a sick map. Yeah, so remember who you are. 4-drop uninkable action. It says if chosen opponent has more cards in their hand than you do, draw cards until you have the same number. And then we're comparing her to the new Anna in green. She's the yet another 3-drop uninkable green card because we don't have enough of those. She's a 2/3. When you play this character, you can pay 2 to choose one of her 3 effects. Each opponent can discard a card. Chosen character gets +2 this turn. You can banish chosen damage character, and she quests for 2. So a lot of effects. Do you guys think they're good enough to beat this other card?
No. I don't think that Anna's better than Remember Who You Are, simply because to get any of her effects, you have to play her on turn 5. She's not a turn 3 character. Like, and that's just like, I don't know, I just feel like that's like, it's mid.
Yeah,
She's not a 3 drop, she's a 5. If you want,
I honestly
like,
feel like both of these cards are kind of mid. I think Remember Who You Are probably has the most applications, but I don't think it's in any of like the meta versions of green decks. Maybe green purple, if you're like not if you don't have like a discard package in there. But I think on it's like I thought it was really cool when I first read it. I was like, oh, this card seems pretty cracked because it's like a multi-tool, but needing 5 ink for it to even matter is kind of like a super big drawback.
Yeah, I think Anna is probably the better card, even though it's 5 to player, because the Banished Chosen damage character is good, and I feel like easy to sing a song or get the damage some other way. Or Remember Who You Are is just a Clarabelle that's not putting a big body on the board. So
Oh,
And
that's
it's
true. I didn't think
Blessing.
about that.
comes out at the same time and makes it's kind of the B King Tremaine argument where putting the body on the board is always better.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about the Ana either. I mean, the utility will probably play a part. I could see the discard being nice too if you have Prince John out to draw or whatever.
This is also one that I could also see Anna seeing play more than Remember because of green purple, because you do play like the Fox Snake package in green purple. So like if you shifted the queen, you shifted the previous Anna onto this Anna, like it would exert everything. You'd be able to challenge and have like that package to help swing it stuff. So
True.
I think that Anna is probably more playable and a better card overall.
I need to know if Russell thinks Ana is good. That was my decision.
I think Russ has been like thinking a lot about Anna. We've had a conversation about it too, and he's like, I think he was leaning towards it being good, but wasn't sure like kind of where we were.
Seems like a card he could maximize.
And so, what are we thinking? I heard we kind of went back and forth there.
I think it's Anna. Anna for me. I'll take Anna.
Yeah, Ana's my vote.
Ready. Anna's gonna make it to the next round then. Ooh, that's very tiny. All right, you.
Also, green doesn't need inkable cards. They have hidden ink caster. Makes all their
everything's inkable. Alrighty, next cards. We've got the mirror. Hot topic of the set, Prince John's mirror. And the new Donald Duck pie thrower. So the Donald is a 5 drop. He's a shift 4, 3/6. Dies to Medusa. First thing on the flow chart.
No, it doesn't.
When you play this character, if you shift to play him, each opponent loses 2 lore, and while your opponent has 10 or more lore, this character gets +6.
Dies to Medusa what?
I'm not playing him to my opponent has more than 10 lore.
I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Prince John's mirror is the reason why Bucky's gone. That card is insane.
It shouldn't be Prince John in that mirror. It should be Bucky in that mirror.
Being able to force any of your opponents down to 3 cards in hand, and it's reduced cost if you have a Prince John in play, is just like super good.
Especially against red purple.
I mean,
limiting
against
them
any
to
deck
3 cards is so nice.
Yeah, or any deck with wheel, like
oh yeah.
Like granted, if it's like Amber steel or any steel deck, they're probably gonna be playing item removal next set. But I think Prince John's mirror, if you play it in the right matchup, is just infinite value.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mirror's definitely better. Donald's an awesome concept, great art, great enchanted, but the mirror just
I think red purple is the only 2 colors that don't have item removal.
Yeah, no, they have
At
bounce
all.
now. Like this set, they have the 3 costs or less item
Amber
bounce.
doesn't.
So you can bounce
That's
Prince
cool.
John's mirror, but that's it.
Amber does it by itself, but like I guess if you're playing
It's
Amber
really
Ruby,
only.
if you play Amber Ruby, you don't have item removal. But I'm thinking of like Amber
Yeah,
Green,
I think
Emerald, and Ember Steel.
I think it's just blue and steel have item
Green
removal.
has
Green
item.
has item
You're
removal.
welcome. And it's like,
I mean, and it has like that song of Clarabelle singing. That's just a 2-cost banish an item, and like Wildcat.
There's also
Tap
the
damage.
guy that like taps himself to banish
no,
an
Yeah,
item.
Wildcat.
I can't remember what. Yeah,
So,
Wildcat.
so blue, steel, and green. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, everything else is pseudo removal. It's like bouncing it. So Prince John's mirror is taking down the duck.
Yeah. Happy birthday, but you're not that good.
I love Prince John.
DJ.
PJ.
That's PJ.
Ah,
Where'd the card go? Oh god.
I don't know what just happened to it.
Just throwing.
I'm throwing. Ah,
You're doing it again.
I
Bro,
did it
it's
again.
struggling.
I
Oh, it's
mean,
Wreck-It. Oh no, it's gas.
I was gonna say it's not regular out.
In my head, it was. Oh wait, what does this spell do again?
oh, bro, this bell is
Everything's forward.
insane.
Yeah,
Bella
it's
the
literally-
ball is my lady. All right, so we've got the new 9-drop Gaston that reduces its cost for each damage character that you have in play. He pays 2 less to play that character. He has Rush. He is a 10-6 that quests for 2. It's got that nice chiseled jawline. You know that he mews. Then we have Belle of the Ball. She has Ward herself. She's a 2/3 4-drop uninkable quest for 2. When you play her, all of your creatures get Ward until the end of the next turn, which, as we know as blue players, has been a problem if our creatures do not have Ward.
Indeed.
What do you guys think?
Uh,
My answer is easy. Easy. As a blue player.
I feel like they're both good cards, like more situational than any other ones we've looked at. I guess I see more potential in Belle. Like you don't have to set her up as much like you do Gaston.
I'm gonna cook with
I
Gaston
go
in my
Belle.
red steel deck, but Belle is 100% my vote simply because I can see her seeing much more play.
Oh,
I
she's
feel like it's just Belle because Gaston is like it's your damage characters, not like just damage characters in general,
Mhm.
like the Robin Hood. Because if it was the same thing as Robin Hood, where it came in based off just damage characters in general, I think it would have a much better chance of getting into play. Which I guess that's why you have to pay 2 less. You get 2 less for it for each character. But yeah, I think Belle has like the highest potential to like see play.
I think the craziest thing about Belle for me is that as a blue player, a lot of times what we try to do to stick our big guy is if it doesn't have Ward like the Ariel does, is you have to play another character to make sure that it doesn't get B King Tremaine, right? But if you're doing this, like unless you're prepping, like or you're using a Tremaine effect, like you're playing this and then like your Tamatoa up this for your 12 ink or whatever, that's sticking, right? Like that Tamatoa is staying. He has Ward. He's not you need double Tremaine effect or prep. Like it's gonna
I mean, when who's hitting Tamatoa to remove him off the board?
Amber,
Yeah, I guess.
world's most dangerous criminal, or is that what it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say, like you're not he's not going nowhere. You're not dragging in him, you're not doing nothing. He's got Ward, bro.
Yeah.
Mufasa's about to have Ward, like you don't even know.
I feel like both of these cards are kind of meh, but I feel like Belle's probably the one that's like more reasonable to see play.
I think Belle is one of those cards that people have hyped up so hard, and then she's gonna end up like barely seeing any play. I choose Belle though. Belle's got my vote. Yes,
Card's
Bruce,
gas.
we're picking Belle.
This card's gas.
I'm voting for Gaston.
Absolute gas.
I don't think it's gonna see play.
I'm putting Gaston in my red steel deck for the shigs.
So we've all voted Gaston, right?
Ah, veto.
Matter of fact, no.
Oh, what's the other
I
one?
love Arthur.
Arthur versus our new sheriff, who, by the way, also has Ward because I played Bell.
I think the sheriff is significantly better than Arthur. I feel like sheriff will be the new blue closer, and Arthur just doesn't do enough to die to Medusa. I feel like
Yeah,
looks
he
cool.
dies to Medusa. He's an uninkable 7.
His shift target is a 2-drop 2/2 that lures for 2. It's not amazing.
What about the purple one, the 1/3?
I mean, yeah, if you want to play another uninkable.
We do.
Okay, and just make sure don't use his effect because if he goes sideways,
He's gone. He has
Uh,
another target in green,
that
but
card
it's a
might just be
4.
better, like as is the
oh
purple.
yeah, red steel. We got the new 1-drop Arthur. We're cooking.
Yeah,
Little bird.
the little birdie.
I don't think Arthur's bad.
I don't think Arthur's bad. I just don't like.
I think Sheriff of Nottingham's easier to like pull off,
Mm-hmm.
and he again doesn't die to Medusa, can't get brawled. So
I want to
the
see
reduced
the.
play cost for each item is pretty good.
I want to see how
Just
fast
imagine you
we're
playing
gonna be
him
able to
for
get
like
him
5
out.
or 6 every time.
Based on that, I'm assuming the consensus is the sheriff.
If we're going just for art, I'm picking Arthur because that enchanted is.
Bro, his art, it's so good. Even the base art is so good with the paper like going down. All right, we got two
DJ?
No.
two knights.
He.
Two knights. We got Doc Knight and Happy Knight. Doc is a 2-drop uninkable 1/3. When you play this character, you may discard your hand to draw 2 cards. And then the 1-drop inkable Happy is a 2/1 during your turn when this character gains evasive. What are you guys thinking about these cards?
I like Doc.
Yeah, I think it's Doc.
I also think it's Doc being able to just not have a hand and play him, or like
Draw 2
like
cards.
if you rip him off the top when you're top decking and just drawing 2 cards is too good. I think the 1-drop's good to answer like Diablo, but it doesn't get around Cove, so I feel like Doc is just.
We're starting to get cards that care about you having stuff in this card, and Doc helps with that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I think Doc's going to be, bro. Ripping Doc off the top, like you said, Corey, is going to be insane. I'll draw 2.
Yeah. I'm glad that Steel finally gave us a card that just says draw instead of draw and discard.
Yeah, that's well, it says discard.
You have to discard your hand.
Well, okay, but like you know what I mean. Like I can draw 2 cards and not have to discard one of those cards.
Alrighty. Last bracket on the right side, we've got Magica Dispel from the new set and the Queen Sensor Core. 4-drop 2/5 inkable during your opponent's turns. If an effect would cause you to discard one or more cards from your hand, you don't. Haha, Bucky.
Could you imagine having this out when they wheel?
Yeah, resolve as much as possible.
It just says draw 7 cards.
actually valid for red purple right now.
And then we got the Queen's Sensor Core. It's a 2-drop inkable item. At the start of your turn, if you have a princess or queen in play, you gain a lore. It's pretty good. And 2, you can pay 2 and tap it to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a princess or queen or character card, you may put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it on the top of your deck. That seems pretty good. What do you guys think of those cards?
I think Magica would be like very good or like potentially one of the best cards, depending how the meta shapes. If everyone's going towards all those green discard cards and like Prince John's hand mirrors like everywhere, then this is like a strong answer for it. The Queen Sensor Core I've been excited for a while. It's just like a different version of the flute that's guaranteed. It's inkable. The second effect I feel like is a very valid effect. So I'd probably go Queen Sensor Core just on no meta analysis.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I think Magica, if like the Bucky errata didn't happen, would be like a mandatory like card in a few decks. But Queen Sensor Core is an inkable, essentially an inkable flute that doesn't require you to play a song because in Amber still like
All your singers are
I was
like
gonna say like
princesses.
80% of the characters in your deck are princesses or queens. So
Yeah.
I think it's just really, really good in that. And then like if you were to play like in like the more like aggro list where you play less songs, I think it like the second effect is just super good as well.
Indeed. I agree. Queen's Sensor Core is my vote.
Heck yeah. So the Queen Sensor Core was the very last card added to the bracket and makes it to the next round.
It's also nice for the blue yellow princesses. Everyone likes
Princess
them.
Hero
Oh yeah,
deck.
everyone does like that deck.
The aggro deck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we have made it through the first round of the single elimination bracket, and we're down to 16 cards. We've discussed each of them thoroughly, so we'll probably go through each of these picks a little bit faster and see who ends up winning this. But some of the decisions might get harder as we go. First up, again, we've got Cusco and Pete for our next round. It's going to get a little tougher. What are you guys thinking?
I'm going Pete.
Pete.
I think we have to go Pete just on the pure stamp this man's foot is going to put on the game for sure, right? Like Cusco is going to be played and relevant, but Pete's going to warp the meta.
You tell me whose cold foil will cost more.
It'll be
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Pete's going to be in every steel deck too.
It's going to be like the
every
first
steel
$20
version deck is gonna be
uncommon for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, this next one.
We're taking Pete on to the next round. Next up, we have Prince Naveen and the library. What are we thinking here?
This one's rough.
I feel like the library is just like reasonably, logically the better option.
I'm going
Interesting take.
Just because the way Lorcana is now, like Naveen's goes unanswered. There's nothing you can do about his effect.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the vein just because I think, like, don't get me wrong, the library is going to provide a lot of value, but I think Naveen gives you immediate value.
I think Naveen gives yellow something it didn't already have, and purple already has some kind of draw power in a location.
Like, Naveen lets you in back into games you have no business winning.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy, dude.
Playing against hyper aggro bricked on songs, and you just like draw Naveen, play him, play swords for free, and wipe out half your opponent's board, like put you right back into it.
Yeah.
All right, Naveen makes it to the next round. Goodbye, library. You were a great card.
Still a great card.
It's a race. This is cash shifter race.
This is easy.
Out of the game.
This is easy. The elephant.
Elephant.
All righty, Clarabella gets immediately taken out.
That was so easy.
No, the elephant's so like
it's so good. Value. Yeah, the elephant is the mayor of Value Town.
Last cards set on the left side. We got the Cogsworth of the Merlin.
Pick the common.
I'm picking the common.
I'm picking Merlin.
Cogsworth is so good, dude.
No, Cogsworth is definitely the pick.
Immediate impact on the meta. Gonna be good for the foreseeable future for sure. It's gonna be Cogsworth. Merlin's gonna have its time and its day for sure, but this Cogsworth.
I can't wait till we loop back around and everybody has to pick between the elephant and Cogsworth.
Dude, this card, like I was like I was pretty low on this set until like we got that day of like a bunch of reveals, and I kept scrolling and I like read that Cogsworth and I was like, my God. I was like, I'm excited for this set now. All right, on the right side here. The right side here.
I picked Chicha here.
between Chicha and the
They
Ruth.
both died in Medusa.
Yeah, it's
Chicha bought the
Chicha.
cards.
It's definitely Chicha.
Yeah.
I think it's Chicha. Alrighty. That was with the
I said.
quickness. I thought
I said
that would be a little more of a debate, honestly.
I think Allen's good, but Chicha's just like for what it does exactly what the deck wants to do and gives you more resources.
Yeah.
All right, we've got the Anna with a 3 effects, Prince John's Mirror.
Prince John.
Prince John's Mirror takes it pretty easily.
We were all skeptical on Anna to begin with.
Yeah, we all think Prince John's Mirror is
Prince
cracked.
John's Mirror is always just going to be better there.
And I think that just because one supports the other, it's probably a pretty easy choice between the Sheriff and Bell, right?
Yeah, the Sheriff.
Yeah,
The
the Sheriff
Sheriff.
for sure.
One supports the other. Can do it. All right,
feel like-
solid
I feel like
Bell. I
Bruce
love
told
you.
us
I'll
to
see
pick
you in
Bell.
my dreams.
I mean, it's a
All
good
right.
card, but not better than
What are
Sheriff.
these two?
And then Doc
Hmm.
and the item.
This is kind of hard.
This one
I
is
think-
hard,
This is the hardest
actually.
one.
I think Queen's Sensor Core.
I think I'm going Doc just because it gives the color something they need.
Nah, that's true. I just like Queen Sensor Core because you're not having to like discard anything to get a card in your hand. Like there's no
You're
neg
paying
here.
ink though.
Well, okay.
Is Queen Sensor Core a Lorcana like in
Yeah.
lore item?
I think it's one of like the. I think there's a bunch of the
The
like
cores.
Illuminaire items that are like in this one, but I think Doc is better, just because like if I
Yeah.
draw Queen Sensor Core off the top, it's not doing anything for me right off the rip, whereas Doc is.
Alrighty, that's at 2-1. Doc's gonna take that one. All right, back over here, we've got Pete versus Naveen. What are we thinking here? That's a hard one.
Pete.
I mean, Pete turns off Naveen, so
Pete.
Easy
There you
case.
go.
All right, good. But Pete is gonna knock Naveen out. Now we got Elephant and Cog.
Y'all pick.
uh,
I'm not in this
I'm
one.
probably going Cogs.
Yeah, I'm going
I'm
Cogs.
easy going Cogs.
More application.
All right, PJ's Mirror
Yeah.
versus Chicha.
Chicha.
Yeah,
Chicha.
I'm going Pete. I'm going Mirror, but that's just me.
Chicha.
I'm fine to not debate it. I just think that it literally saves the whole discard deck. I mean, it gives it more options than just being.
I'm getting rid of the
Emerald.
Prince John's Mirror. Like it's going. If it hits the field, I got the Rise of the Titans in my hand to get rid of it.
All right, so we're going Chicha.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Chicha makes it to the next round, knocking out the Mirror. Last one down here, we got Doc versus Sheriff. I think that's probably pretty easy.
Doc,
thinking
Doc, Doc,
Doc.
I think Doc.
Bro, y'all killed me with that.
I gave you a blue card already. Give us Doc.
All right, Sheriff makes it to the next round. Glad we had this talk. Glad we had this
Let's all
talk.
the blues on the same side.
All right, Matt did this on purpose, so Blue had to knock itself out. All right, so we got Pete versus Cog. I think even though Cog is insane, we'll probably all agree.
Pete, just make Pete big now. Just cover the middle. What are you doing?
Pete. All right, and then between Sheriff and Chicha.
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 Doc.
Chicha.
Doc.
Chicha somehow made it to the finals. Pasha would be very proud of her, but I think that we all know the king
Hold on, before you
himself.
do, yeah.
Blow the
Ohana.
whistle.
The king himself.
Put him to the front. Right click. Layer. Bring him to the front. Bring to the front.
Oh,
Not forward, to the front. Woo, it's our boy.
to the front. Winner of the tournament is Pete.
Yeah.
All right.
I think as much as I want to say anything else, I think he's
Pete's
broken.
just so good.
This is the card of the set, right? Like it's crazy.
Definitely a
that
3
he-
of in any steel deck I run.
I mean,
You
I
ain't
think-
cheating if you're the one making the rules.
I think Daisy's the winner of the set, but I think this is.
Daisy didn't even make it out of round one.
First
Yeah,
round
we're gonna
elimination.
get- and I got 2v. I got 2 voted to 1.
Filipinos guys.
Guys, well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this type of segment. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, let us know in the comments. I thought this would be a good way to talk about some of the cards in Shimmering Skies. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, check out all of our socials in the description below. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. Participate in the Cast Shift and Erase in Discord. Check out the other people on the team's socials. They're also on Twitter and Facebook. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we end this?
Facebook giveaway at 500 followers. Get us there.
Yeah, get us to 500 and we'll do another giveaway. Woo woo. Alrighty. Well, this will get uploaded soon, and we will talk to you guys in the next video. Stop recording.